What's going on, 10 Hut? It is a 10 Hut show with a side of whiskey. So, salud.
Salud.
It is Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend because it's a weekend for many of you guys and a weekend for everybody, for every day, so it's depending on your job. But anyways, guys, I know I've been gone for a long time, and some of you guys, I know that I've actually, my dad passed away a while back, and thank you for you guys that be reaching out, sending your condolences. So I really appreciate that. Enough about that. I am super excited that I got my good friend Joe. He's executive director of the National Veterans Chamber, and this guy has been killing it. Man, I mean, every time I see your posts or you're on LinkedIn, I mean, you're hustling, you're building a community. I know you're in San Diego, but if you're extending yourself out to the San Bernardino County, you're also extending yourself to Los Angeles County. You're helping out veterans, and you're all about building a system in place for veterans in transition, not just for their career, but also in business.
Correct.
So I've been seeing a lot of your, you have your radio show as well, and I'm super excited to have you here, and thank you for joining us. I'm not gonna steal your thunder, but go ahead, Joe.
No.
Team.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, team, for the invitation. And yes, it's been an awesome ride. Starting from a very small group of veterans trying to help other veterans, and it has just been an awesome ride. Collaborating with people like yourselves and other veterans and other communities. And it just anything we can do to support veterans or the military community at large, that's what we are about. So it's my pleasure, and thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. And I want to say that one of you and I and Jose with the 10 Hut crew, we put a project together, and I know because of the COVID, it was put on hold, but we're looking forward to develop this partnership again, so we can provide this at least for us, for those that are watching, is entrepreneurship, because that's
right.
Like my thing right now. Once you get bit by the bug, it's like you want to continue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let us know a little bit about what the National Chamber of Commerce is doing for the veteran community.
Well, since last time we talked, we started the chamber as a regular chamber, but as you know, we're not your typical chamber of commerce. We decided from the beginning to offer a free membership, free chamber membership. So we don't charge to veterans, we don't charge to military spouses, and we don't charge to nonprofits. So we want to continue doing so, because I think it's important that everyone has the opportunity to start. And so that's our first part. The second part is that we do focus on entrepreneurship. Now, if we think about the individual, the entrepreneur starts with the business side of it. But as individuals, now we have families, like Jose just got married. So now you're going to build a family. As you build a family, we wanted to support the family too. So providing tools and resources as a family, as a military family, whether it's through VA benefits, VA home buying, whether it's through communication, because we guys, and especially us guys, are kind of rough on the edges when it comes to communicating. So anything like that, we want to provide those resources. But also, as a family, we also want to make sure that we upgrade our skill base. So we want to provide education. So aside from being in business, education is an important part of that. Whether we're looking for a job or want to start a business, we want to make sure that we have the tools and the skills necessary to compete in the regular market. So since last time we talked, we are now, we have the entrepreneurship platform, we have the employment platform, we have the job platform, we have the education platform, the family platform, and the wellness platform. I think we wanted to provide a 360 approach, and our main thing is collaboration. We want to make sure that we collaborate with as many people as we can. Anyone who wants to play, anyone who wants to come together to serve the military and the veteran community, we want to be a part of that. So we want to invite, engage, help develop programs, go after grants together, go after government contracts together, or bring those individuals who have the capacity to do that to kind of come together and apply for those contracts or for those grants. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, what we are about now.
So I have a little caveat. So I am a vet, as you know, but
Of course.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
But I'm actually a dependopotamist now. My
Oh,
wife
okay.
is a vet, and she's still serving our country right now. So it's I'm actually, we were talking about it on the drive over here, that like getting connected with those services, and especially like going into like DEERS and changing that status and independent now. It's a little bit of a different animal for me, but yeah, I wanted to say that just because you mentioned like that the Chamber of Commerce helps with the families and things like that, but I'm actually the one that on the family side and not the military side.
You get the spousal approval from the federal government now. That's probably how the VA hired you, because they said, you know what, we want this spouse. He's not a veteran, he's just a spouse. And let alone they found out when you got there that, oh man, we got one of those again.
and that's the thing. From the beginning, we wanted to make sure that we were 100% inclusive. So that we provided the same service that a veteran receives are the same service the spouses receive, and the parents of the veteran receives, and the children of the veterans receive. So we are 100% inclusive, and we, as you know, we don't even ask for ranks. We don't ask for branches. We don't ask for anything like that, because we want to be 100% inclusive.
Yeah. So can you elaborate a little bit on the how do you get involved with the entrepreneurship portion of the of your whole program with the National Veterans Chamber?
There's several ways. So if you have as a veteran or as someone who wants to be part of it, if you want to participate in the training program, we have a training program which we call the Business in a Box, and the Business in a Box basically takes you from point A to point Z, and allows for someone to learn what is to be an entrepreneur, and then alongside with a business coach who can, after they complete the program, they continue receiving coaching on how to set up their business. We actually do that for them. So we train them and teach them how to set up their own business, LLC or corporation or whatever, how to get the licenses. But we actually, when they purchase or when they sign up for the program, we actually do that for them. We have partnerships that actually walk them through the process, get them set up. If they want a corporation, they set up a corporation. If they want an LLC, they set up an LLC. So the first step is to set up to learn how to be an entrepreneur. So they sign up for the program on how to do that. And then the second part of the program is the implementation of it. How do you implement? How do you make your first dollar, basically? Whether it's through selling a product, selling a service, or doing business with the government, whichever way fits you, and whichever way fits the criteria of that particular veteran. And that's why the mindset concept is so important, and that's why I wanted to also touch base on that, because that's 90% of the business is the mindset.
We talk about the mindset every single show, that a veteran has to advocate for themselves. They need to be self-empowered to do whatever they're trying to accomplish. But any veteran that comes and asks us a question, the first thing is like, well, how much do you want it? Are you trying to,
correct?
What are you trying to do to get to where you want to be? So definitely is something we bring up a lot in this show.
No, it's because it's just so critical. Look, I've been doing business advice, and Pedro and Jose know that I'm a community investor. So I when I see a business that is going to not that are going to do well, because every business does well. There's no bad business. But when I see someone who actually knows exactly what they want to do, then my money goes to support that. But if I see someone who just has an idea and a dream, and they're not really clear what they want to do, it's like, it may not be. You need to go back and find out what it is that you want. And I follow a very simple formula when I'm talking to someone, and when I see them when it comes to the mindset. I know, we all know, the thoughts create emotions. If the thoughts create the emotions, then the emotions create beliefs, and those beliefs are the ones that create the actions and the communication or the words of those actions. So what I look at someone first is their thoughts in line with their emotions. What they're thinking is in line to what they're feeling.
And I think where a lot of the disconnect happens with the veterans that are separating from the military. So I've met a lot of veterans that have so many ideas about entrepreneurship and things like that, and finding business, but then connecting those thoughts with those emotions that create motivation is where that disconnect lies. It's that from the thoughts to the action, because a lot of us have trouble with our emotions and how to deal with those, and how to present those emotions and turn them into motivating factors that create action.
Correct.
So I could see, and actually my wife and I were talking about it earlier, that a lot of us get stuck on that area where we can't seem to drive ourselves to get out of a rut, or out of the especially in this pandemic, to actually create action and make something happen.
Well, and that's kind of what this mindset approach comes in, and that's kind of what I work with them with, because if you ask someone, and I ask, when I'm talking about me, so and everything I say here is my opinion, my thing, my experience. There's no legal or anything like that. It's just my opinion. Right. But when I talk to someone and what I hear, now listen to me here, right? What I hear is that they say, I want to start a business. Do you hear that before? Have you heard that before? Right.
Yes.
All the time.
All the time. Okay.
time.
When someone tells me or tells you, I want to start a business, what is it that they're really saying? So when they come and tell me, what is it that I think myself, what is that they're really saying? What they're saying to me is that I don't have a business. I want to start a business. I want more money. That means they're coming from a perspective, from a mindset of lacking.
Yeah.
If we come in from a perspective of lacking, that means everything that's going to come from that is going to be lacking of, because our actions, our everyday actions, are everyday, moment to moment, supported by the way we think. If I think I need more money, it's going to be supported the next moment with I need more. It's going to be always confirm. So changing the mindset from I need more money or I want more money to a mindset of positive understanding and having a clear idea of what I desire. The difference between wanting something and desiring something is the passion behind it.
Yes. Professor, so the early on in our relationship, when we had the partnership with the entrepreneurship program that you had created, and then we were going to implement. I like the idea that even though it was within the chamber, the National Veteran Chamber of Commerce, you took care of the veteran at every single step. So even if they, you know what, I want to be a business owner, but I don't have an idea. But I like the way that and you can talk about this, about the syllabus and the program that you're still creating, and hopefully soon we can help implement. But at every step of the way in the pipeline, you were walking the veteran through these processes.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, even if they wanted to start off and say, you know what, I want to be a business owner, I just don't have an idea of what it is that I want to do. And you still help them develop that idea and then walk them through that process. And
right.
So can you talk a little bit about your course?
Yes. Well, the idea of when someone comes to me and says, whether I do it under the chamber or just my personal consulting side, so I also do that for other communities. But someone comes in and says, I want to start a business, but I just don't know what I want to start, right? I just know that I need to start something. So the first thing I ask them is kind of to create a roadmap, to list the things that they want to do. They just write them out, 10, 15, 20, whatever. And then write on in a separate column the things that you will love to do, It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's talking, whether it's video games, whether it's eating cakes, whatever it is, just write them down. So with those simple questions, I'm identifying where the skill set of that individual is and where the drive of that individual is. And then we start pairing those up. And I start identifying 3, 4, or 5 of those that actually match, because we always have it. Everything we want, we know it. We just cannot pinpoint it at that moment. And that is the key part of it, because once we identify 3 or 4 or 5, then I really send them to try it out. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot start a business on paper. You cannot start a business in a class. You have to try it. Yeah. And my approach is, please, love to fail. Enjoy failing.
I did that several times.
Because
you know what?
But
I like one of the I find the name of the motivational speaker, but he never calls it failing. I either win or learn. So it's
people call different ways, but I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah, I know. But
as a boxer, in order to be a good boxer, you have to be okay with being hit, right? Yes. Otherwise, you'll be a horrible boxer. I could not be a boxer, so I don't like to be hit, you know. but it's the same. It's the same formula, the same format. So if someone is interested in doing business, and that's what they want to do, they want to have the entrepreneurship mindset, then please try something out. Just do it, whatever it is. So out of those 5 or 6 elements that we identify, we try one for 2 or 3 months. The key here is risk. It's being able to have someone who can help you manage the risk. Because I hate seeing people that they get frustrated and they go try something out, and they go and mortgage their home, and they go buy, $30,000 on a program that someone says you're gonna get good money. Like, no. So try something out. I always go, and you remember this, we talked about this before, the 10% ratio. So whatever money is in your pocket, whatever money is in your account, 10% of that, use it to invest it in that venture. 10% of that. So if you had $10,000 saved up, then $1,000 could be invested on that business idea. Try it out. See if it's going to work. See if it's going to get the people responding to your concept. Because if you spend $1,000 and no one really wants to buy what you're offering, maybe not a good time, maybe it's not the right offer. So many different things can happen, and that's why they come back to me and says, "This is what I have. This is what I encounter along the way," and then try something else. So try something different. But yes, managing risk is crucially important. Yes, Pedro.
My question, talking about the mindset, right? Because I've learned this in the past, being in sales, because that's the one thing that I've done a lot to make money. And before, when I started, it was just more like I want to start a business, whatever. It was more of a desperation mindset, right? Because it's like, I need money, right?
Correct.
How do you actually help veterans to start shifting the mindset with this?
Well, and that's a really good question. So when I talk to them, it's a process of self-evaluation. Is how am I talking to myself now? So I start helping. Well, instead of saying I need money, we start saying, okay, I my desire is to help others. My desire is to help other people. Let's say I'm going to use real estate as an example. My desire is to help others find the best home possible. Money is only an outcome of whatever we do. Anyone who tells me that they want to start a business because they want money, that's backwards.
Right.
Totally backwards. So whatever I want to do, like I'm as you know, also I'm an instructor. So I teach as a professor. I teach not because I want to make money, but because I want to educate. I love teaching. Money comes automatically. Lending, I don't do lending, but investing. When I invest with companies, I don't invest because I want to make money. I invest because I want to see them be successful. So instead of saying I want to make money, I say I want to help other people be successful and have them enjoy their success. Money is automatic. Making money is a no-brainer. Is the easiest thing in the world. But what makes it hard is the obstacles that we create with it. So every time, like and you said earlier very wisely, I wanna increase my income. I want to make more money. I want to do this. I want to do that. And so that mindset, when I'm helping someone change the mindset, I help them reward that. So by taking care of the mind, then pretty soon they start taking care of the way they feel, or the drive, like Jose mentioned earlier, the drive or the emotion, the motivation. Once those two start coming into play, then the belief comes in, because then the belief is like, this is who I am now. This is my identity now.
Right.
Yes.
Go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
You know what? One thing that I love that you just brought up is the mindset, and the belief. A lot of people don't believe in the universe bringing things to you.
Oh, absolutely. No.
How much power we have based on, certain things like that. But it's about yourself. And a lot of people forget that. They're so worried about how to fix everything.
Right.
And their self is not aligned to what they're trying to achieve.
And that's the key word that you said right now, Will, because that's really what I call it. The mind. Exactly. Is all those three things have to be in alignment. If those three things are in alignment, then you'll start to see the easier flow of things coming your way. And because you call it the universe, because that's nature works that way. Before it rains, it gets a little bit misty, right? It gets you can smell it.
You can feel it.
You can feel it.
Injuries like me, I feel it in my hip.
Oh my gosh, that's right. I tried, it starts to hurt.
All in pain, all crippled up in the side of your bed, like, oh, I don't want to get up.
So that tells you that it's coming. But another thing I want to say is important, and then I'll move on to something else. But we always think that the thoughts that we have and the emotions that we get are normal, are just there.
Yeah.
One thing that we have to realize, and that's another thing I help veterans with, is we have two minds and we have two emotions. One mind is the thoughts that we actually create, and the other thoughts are the ones that just come.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking to people, like, those thoughts that just come, they're not yours. So learning to control those thoughts little by little then allows you for you to determine, to intentionally think what you really want to think. Same thing with the emotions, because sometimes it's really hard not to feel frustrated, not to feel depressed, not to feel anxiety, which is normal, 100% normal. But what is not normal is to live there and to be there. So, and those emotions are not created by ourselves. Those emotions, they just sit there. They just sit there like a rock in the stomach. So being able to little by little kind of sand down that pebble thing and get rid of it, that's a process that it takes the mind, the emotion, and the belief to be able to change that. And that's when you start really changing the mindset to what you really want.
It's funny that you mentioned it's two minds, two emotions. Like I just not too long ago I read an article that it's like there's a primary emotion and the secondary emotion, and anger or frustration isn't actually any primary emotion. So it has to do with other at times hidden
triggers.
Hidden triggers and hidden emotions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like to separate them, because if we call them one and the other, we think they're the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And no, they're separate. Mm-hmm. I can choose to be angry with you. Mm-hmm. I can choose that.
It happens.
And I've chosen that many times. Especially with Jose.
Pisses everybody off.
That's right. But you can choose what to think. You can choose what to feel. You don't have to go by what you're feeling and what you're thinking. You have that power, like you talk about the universe. That is a power that is being given to us. We can choose. Now, every time, 100% of the time, always, of course not. We're still humans, and we're still weak, and we still have to struggle and all that kind of things. But we have the power that we can change the way we think, the way we feel, and then we also can create the way we believe.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just saw a user use the words affirmation and speech. It's so so people need, if you want to learn something, affirmation and speech is something that you need to look into, and it will help you get through a lot of things.
It's very, very important, and you're right, Will. Like, also the I've seen a lot of nowadays, like the alignment is a new term. There's a term that is common in that environment. The other one is the law of attraction. Is very common in that environment. And then and also the ability to identify first, because first we have to know what we want. We have to have a clear idea what it is that we are desiring to have.
Yeah.
And that sounds really simple, but it is not.
That it's not. No.
It is, but it is 90% of the game. 90% of the game. The rest of it's easy. Getting money is easy. Getting clients is easy.
Exactly.
All of that. But if you know exactly what you want, you will get there.
I speak to a lot of veterans that are recently separated from the military, and the big thing is that they always say, well, I ask them, well, what do you want to do when you get out? Well, I don't know. I just want to be successful. I'm going to use my military career to transition into this career and do this. And the question I always ask is, have you found yourself? Because for the past 4 years, 6 years, 10 years that they served, 20 years if they retired, right? Mm-hmm. They've been under a different type of environment where it's more of, I need you to do this, and you just do it. It just gets done. Where it's not about you.
Correct, and that's extremely important, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Will, because when we're in the military, our belief, our emotions, and our thoughts
Everybody's.
is all they are in line.
Yeah.
They are in line. We have an identity. So all those three things have created an identity.
Yeah.
So whether you are in for 3 months or you are there for 30 years,
Yeah.
that identity stays with you. It identifies and tells you who you are. The moment we leave that, the moment we pass that gate,
Mm-hmm.
we're now civilians, or what we call veterans.
Mm-hmm.
We're no longer active. Now we have to find something else. But it's not just about to find what. Anybody can find a what. But finding that identity is what I find, what I feel, and I've seen the people have the most challenge with. So someone who is transitioning out of the military is normal, is very normal to feel that unconnected sensation, because you are now in a different world, different environment, and it's going to take time. It's going to take time to get acquainted, to get readjusted. And there's not a pitch, but just some mention. One of the programs that we have at the chamber is called the Heroes Welcome. And it's very important to me because when, like the people that you mentioned in Will, that anyone who gets out of the military and is going to go into a different community, let's say they were stationed in Germany, now they're coming after years, now they're coming to be stationed in Arizona. They don't know anybody in Arizona. They don't know anybody, whatever. So what we want to do and what we do is kind of collaborate with the leaders in those communities so that the new transition member can quickly connect with the relatable resources. We don't want to give them a book. That's silly. Here's a list of resources. Go find them. Like, I said, wait a minute.
That's what you always get, though.
I mean, that's what I call Google. Google does a great job for me.
Google.
No, what we want is the human connection.
Yeah.
The human connection that interacts, that says, okay, I'm in California, I'm Joe Molina. If you are new to California and you want someone to connect with, I will connect you and I'll be your point of contact. If you're with someone in LA, well, there is Jose in LA. So Jose will connect you with people there. Or Pedro, who is, you're in Orange County. So I don't know where you are, Will. So, the personal
Orange
connection, was that?
We're in Orange County right now.
Okay, Orange County. So Orange County. But that coach is the world of difference. It makes a world of difference. And making the connections with the right people, the veterans who've been there, because when we are out for a while. So we already know the ropes. We already know where the blind spots are. We already know how to do things in the community. We already know who runs the city. We know who runs the other chambers. We know the contacts. The new person arriving don't know. So it's like going somewhere, a party with your friend. Your friend is introducing you to the new crowd, and that's important. So this is the same way, and I see that value for new veterans, because that's the value that we as a group, never mind the chamber, but as a group, offer to the newcomers, whether it's California or New York, doesn't matter.
Something you just touched on that's very important, that every veteran has experienced a totally different experience, and it takes a very unique person to be able to guide them through that stuff. So
absolutely,
even if I was deployed with Jose and he was right next to me,
good luck.
His experience
Sorry.
His experience could have been exactly what we would interpret as the same, but mentally,
I was different. Way different.
It's totally different, because he might have seen it as this is normal, where I would have saw it as, well, this is a lot more than I've ever seen, or vice versa, right?
It's totally different.
That's what a lot of people don't understand, that you can't generalize veteran assistance or resources. You can't just say, well, you have PTSD, just go see the VA. There's so many different situations, and the VA has acknowledged that as well, and that's why now they provide a lot more assistance where some of it is non-combated PTSD, and sexual trauma. And they separated that from PTSD because of the reason that there's many reasons where a veteran will be, looking for these resources. And I like the fact that you brought that up, and that you guys at the Veterans Chamber are looking at how to help out veterans in a very unique, specific way to tailor it to them, to that person specific.
Well, yeah, and it's because and we talked about this before, Jose and Pedro. I think, like, even in business, if you go alone in business, it's going to be a different experience. But if you go with a business coach, the likelihood of success is going to skyrocket, because you have someone who's going to working with you and help you through the process. If you are on anything, if you are in sports, you have a sports coach. If you are a movie star, you guys are close to Hollywood. If you're a movie star, you have an agent. It is just all those outside people are the ones that actually help you guide through the process and navigate through the alleys, because every business, every area has blind spots. So one of the things that we do, or we would like, and we continue always welcoming, is people like yourselves or anybody who's listening to say, yeah, I want to help and support other veterans, and I'm in North Carolina, or I'm in Idaho, or I'm in New York, or whatever, because they can just come in and we give them the certificate, so they are basically approved or certified to work with transitioning veterans. So when we get someone who's transitioning out of the military and going into those areas, they have a point of contact that they can rely on.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's very good.
You need to sign us up right now. All three of us.
Awesome.
I'm nominating everybody.
That's delegation, right?
It's like, no, not me, Jose.
So, it's very interesting. It's very true what everything you've been saying, obviously, because one thing that I've learned in my past experience getting into business is that this is why I tell the veterans too, is like, hey, and even Jose, I know Will has too. So if you're gonna go into business, it really, really is going to challenge your persona, and it is, because there's gonna be a lot of deficiencies that you might not know you have.
Always.
And you're gonna get challenged. And what's gonna happen? It'll be like, and you start doubting. I'm not gonna lie. You start doubting at first.
Every time.
You mentioned having a business coach.
Yes.
Having a business coach, especially if you're going to business, or a transitional coach, or
you have to. You have
a mentor. I tell everybody, go. You know what? If you see somebody successful that you want to follow their lead, or want to be somewhere where they are, there's no person in the world that you go ask, hey, can you mentor me? And they're going to say no such thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is, please let me know. I've never met the person that says, hey, can you be my mentor? And they just say flat out, no, I won't. So
it is very important. And it's also very important that, sometimes we have entrepreneurs or people who want to start a business, and they go work somewhere.
Yeah.
They go somewhere to learn. Let's say they want to start a restaurant, so they go work for a restaurant. Mm-hmm. And I say, please don't. What are you doing?
Thank you.
What are you doing?
Yes.
What the only thing you're going to learn is how to serve, and how to, and that's great. How to hold 13 plates at the same time. No, what?
I can't do that.
Yeah, right. Or remember the orders. But all those things are important, but not to you as entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What we ask during the program is for these entrepreneurs to actually do and request that mini mentorship from the current business owners, multiple restaurants, business owners, and have the shadowing, because you are capturing that information. You are gathering the resources. You're gathering those perspectives, because you got to make your own one. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of that, you make your own, and you start making your own way. As entrepreneurs, we make our own way. So you gotta find something that really suits you and that you feel that is right. But yes.
And if you want to follow away and have a restaurant that everybody else has, go franchise of McDonald's. You know, that's other than that, you got to make it your own. You know, but if not, you want to buy the name and just have a McDonald's.
and that's the thing. If someone is open to having a franchise, because they don't want to create their own. That's the other thing about mindset. They just don't want to create their own. They want to start a business, but they want to follow a already established format. Franchising is 100% their match. And we have people who do that for our veterans all day long. Yeah. And that works because...
And it's almost bulletproof. Almost.
And that's really more successful than starting your own.
Yeah.
Because it's very systematic, already has done all the research. They tell you when to do what. And that's very militaristic. So it's very successful for veterans. But if you are a veteran, that is, you're an entrepreneur, and you want to start your own thing, and Jose and seeing this also, and Pedro, we have what I call the different mindsets, the entrepreneurial mindsets. And that's another thing that helped them identify, because some people are employees, wanted to be entrepreneurs, way different mindset. Some people are entrepreneurs. That means they come out and create their own pathways. Some people are entrepreneur business owners. So those are the ones that fit with a franchise mindset. But you cannot put someone who fits in the franchise mindset and try to make them be an employee, because they're going to get fired.
Yeah.
Or if you have what's that?
There's a difference between, like, you have your employees. There's a difference between your business owner and entrepreneur. Entrepreneur has a very adjusted mindset where, you know, you can adapt and overcome on certain situations if you're a very, very good entrepreneur.
Well,
but if you're a franchise owner, I think you're just a business owner.
True, you are. Yeah. But think about if you're an entrepreneur and all of a sudden you bought a franchise. Let's say you're an entrepreneur, you bought a Subway franchise, and then you say, well, you know, if I cut the bread in half, or if I order, it will be better for my business. Well, they will kick you out because you don't fit. So you have to fit where you want to fit, you know? And if you try to get a job and be an entrepreneur, you're most likely, again, you're going to get fired because your boss is not going to like, you're not going to fit.
You're not going to fit.
Yeah. Yes.
Pigs fit in the square hole.
I do have real quick. So is there like some sort of a test where focus only like based on behavior, like this is the kind of business you fit in? A franchise or starting your own.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. What is that?
It's called Joe Molina.
Yes. I love it.
But in seriousness,
Joe Molina, let us know where can our viewers contact you? That's what I want. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people right now asking, how do we get a hold of this brilliant mind?
The best way is for them to contact you guys. Pedro and Jose have my personal email, or they can just contact me directly through the Veterans Chamber website, and happy to set up sessions with them. But to answer your question, Pedro, in a serious format, there is really not a test. I mean, we all taken tests, and you gotta take those a little bit, with a grain of salt. Right. My advice to anyone who wants to start a business is to first gather, learn what is like, what is in that, what is to start a business look like. So take a few classes here and there. Really? Don't make any commitments yet. Just learn. It's like I compare it to building a fire, and you create a fire by putting the sticks together. So you gotta gather first the sticks, right? Business the same way. You got to gather the information. Once you gather the information, then you have questions that are relevant to the business. Then you can really come and say, "Hey, Joe, I have these questions on how to do this." Then it makes sense to take a course on how to start the business. Mm-hmm. And then before you start, then I will ask you, do you know what you want? Do you know what you are? Do you know what you want? Otherwise, you're going to spend the money and not knowing what you want, and it's not going to get you hardly anywhere. You have to come in with the idea of what it is what you want. Otherwise, let's take one step back and help you understand what it is that you fit. And sometimes, many times actually, it doesn't really hit yet. So, okay, so let's try it out. Let's try it out. Maybe, many of us can walk away. Maybe they'll be interested on being in construction, and they set up their contracting license. Maybe some of them may be interested on doing real estate investment, so they set up that way. But they are, trying one thing or another,
Right.
But always under the risk element of the 10%. Always. If you always keep yourself with the 10%, you will never lose your shirt.
I want to add something else. In this entire process, in the entire pipeline, it takes work, and it's a ton of work. Whether it's wanting to learn about your emotions and how to connect the mentality and the emotions, it takes once the business is implemented, it takes work after it. Along the entire thing, it's a lot of work, and Pedro and I will,
and drive.
A
lot of drive.
And I'll tell you what,
too,
Pedro.
I was gonna say patience, being patient.
Correct. Well, going back to what Will was saying earlier, once you're in alignment, things take care of itself.
Yeah.
You just have to do what it is for you to do. But things are already working on their own. So you take the classes, you do your thing, because if you're passionate about, then it's not work.
It's easy.
You want to do it. It's easy. You want to do it.
It's fun.
It's fun. Oh, and that's the other part. If you are doing something that you do not enjoy, and someone is doing something just because they feel that they have to do,
don't do it.
I can help you. I really can help you. Or if someone is want to do a business because they just want to make millions and millions of dollars, and then do it, I can help you. I don't help greedy people. I really don't. I don't care. What I want to help is people who have a passion, and who have the drive, and who enjoy what they're going to do. Because it's that's part of life. It's it's the quality of life.
Yeah. Absolutely. This is great information. Something that popped in my mind. Is there a way we can have another show when we talk about franchise? Because I know there's a lot of veterans that have asked me, like, I want to get into business, but yet I don't want to start something from scratch.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes. And now we actually have a partnership with a really great veteran that I'm working with, and that's all he does, no cost. He just brings all the information. I can bring him with me, and he can talk his part. I'll talk my part, and do it that way.
Absolutely.
That'd be great.
There's a lot of, we're running out of time, but I know there's a bunch of opportunities out there for veterans to actually get into franchise with a lot of corporations that actually will fund you some money versus somebody coming in from scratch just from being a veteran. Here's 10 grand off of your franchise.
Well, here's the thing. I have a franchisor who's giving away a franchise. And
wow.
They haven't been able to find a veteran who wants to take it. So, but the other part is any franchise can be great, right? Like I said, there is no bad business. Really, there's none. But again, going back to, is that something that you really want to do? And is that fit your criteria? So what this veteran brother does is he works with the veteran to make him understand and find that match, find that connection, to make sure that it's a good fit.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just let me know.
For those that are watching this, definitely share. Get ready for the next show where we're going to be talking about franchise. This is really important. I mean, I know I get a lot of veterans. I know Jose and Will does.
Yeah.
But I want to say thank you so much, Joe. Thank you for putting out so much information. I really believe that I'm actually happy that we connected before. So.
Likewise. Yeah.
We are actually doing a lot of good things. Something for Will right now.
He's coming over here.
Go ahead and enjoy your cake.
Oh man,
have a slice for me.
I don't know what he's like did. These candles are kind of weird.
How many candles are 30?
Like 30 something. I don't know.
45.
45? What?
No way.
I'm only 21 today, man.
Yeah.
These are sparkling candles. This guy got sparkling candles.
Well, thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Jose, for the invitation.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Oh yeah.
Definitely a great talk today. I was very interested.
So thank you. Appreciate it.
Definitely, Joe. Thank you so much. For those of you guys who've been watching, go ahead and just reach out to Joe. Let me Joe website again. Joe.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we're gonna say a happy birthday real quick for Will, and then
man.
All right. Sounds good.
I forgot about this cake.
Ready? Come on, Jose. You don't need a team.
Give me the lighter, man. I'll finish lighting. Hey, he left some over here. I'm gonna light them for you. He's got these special candles.
We're like,
happy birthday to Will.
Cha cha cha.
Happy
birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Blow the candles.
Blow the candles. Hurry up.
You're gonna burn your house.
I know, man.
All right.
Make a wish.
Make a wish.
Make a wish.
$1 billion.
You're supposed to blow on it, not spit on it.
What the hell?
Lung power.
You got some virgin, bro.
Bro, really?
Hey, Ted Hut, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Joe.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
And I really appreciate it. All right, guys. For those who've been watching, I appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Share this video and like this video, because definitely, this is very informal video for those that are looking to get into entrepreneurship. All you vets, remember, mindset. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Until next time, Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Take care. Peace. Out.